Hi everyone, welcome to Saturday Noon Live with Tara. I was waiting for the live to be live on all three platforms. And yes, as Ranveer said on a chat I did with him, Ranveer Shori, he said, "My gosh, Tara, your live setup is like a cockpit." And that's exactly what it's like. I am sitting in our little bar area on a stool, and I have, oops, I'm going to move this. And I have basically I have two computers and a phone all lined up, and I am sitting like in a cockpit. So I'm gonna say, before I even say hi to everyone, I'm gonna just spell out what I thought we'll talk about today, so that anybody who wants to add to it or has stuff to say about it. I'm going to set out the kind of agenda. So basically, first and foremost, I didn't even know yesterday was World Children's Day. I didn't know that because in India we celebrate Children's Day on the 14th of November, which was last Saturday, which happens to have been Diwali too. And I'm so sorry I missed Saturday Noon Live last Saturday for the first time ever. But because was World Children's Day yesterday, a huge happy World Children's Day to all the amazing children in the universe, all of you, and our kids who I've asked to pop in just to say, hi. For me, of course, good health for us all, our children, you guys, us all, forever. Touchwood is the most important thing. And being good people, humble, successful, making people happy, making people smile, making the world a better place. Those are all things that are really important to me, and we'll talk more about that. So the first thing was World Children's Day. The next thing was yesterday, or last week rather. This week has been Child Safety Week, and I have done episodes on our show, the Tara Sharma Show, on child sex abuse awareness. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, the frightening statistics, the reality of how prevalent abuse is, and how we must all do whatever we can to eradicate this heinous act. We're also going to talk about our lives, how we're all feeling, how you all are. For us, in many ways, it's been a bit of back to life. In a way, of course, I always say that as much as this time has been difficult, there have been some silver linings, family bonding, all of us being together, a focus on good health and fitness and stuff like that, like yoga with Tara. So just that, got back to doing a shoot with makeup with my darling Ressi after a long time, which was great fun. And I hosted an event for Magic Bust, which was wonderful. And all these things are on my social media platforms, so do check them out too. It's a really interesting conversation with the creators of a fabulous track called Voices United, about overcoming the situation of COVID and what the world is going through. So, on that note, let me not bore you, but that's the agenda, kind of spoken about most things now. We've got Saravana, hi on Facebook. We've got Neil, we've got Mehul. Hi everyone on Facebook. So wonderful to see you all here. And on Instagram, we've got on YouTube, we've got Amit, we've got Elvin and Melvin. Hi. Arti, we're fine. Thank you, Elvin. I mean, thank you, Amit. Um, Thank you so much for all your wonderful messages. And then we've got Bhupendra on Instagram, Vishal, Udit. So thank you all. Now, please send in your questions about these topics that I've spelt out. And I would love to hear your thoughts, anything you want to say about all these things. Paki Raju is saying, I love how children could be inspiring for us adults as well, like Greta Thunberg mobilizing the conversation for climate change at such a young age. Absolutely. I have to admit that as a parent, as a mom, I find I learn so much from our kids. And I've always said this. In fact, yesterday when I was doing this event on financial management and money management for kids and travel inspiration, I said, what's incredible is that you can go to the same place that you've been to before you had kids. And when you go again with kids, you actually see the place in a whole different light because you see it through their eyes, and they actually see things often quite differently and in many ways more evolved. So, for example, when I asked them something about different cultures, they said, yeah, but they were all quite similar. And it was such a simple statement, but it made me realize, it's true for many times kids are really, a pure canvas, and then it's only stereotypes of life that start, perhaps creating perceptions. So yes, definitely, Pakiraju, a lot to learn from children too. Elvin says, how was your Diwali? It was lovely. Thank you, Elvin, to the point that I forgot Saturday Noon Live, which has never happened in the 4 years I've been doing it. But I made up on Sunday. Thank you, Elvin. It was a family Diwali at home. Uh, LOL's Gaming says, hello, beautiful, good vibes. Thank you. Sudha Kanti says, hi, Divi. Game Check Tutorials. You're a wonderful actress, really. Thank you so much. Rushikesh says, hello, Didi. Please add me on Instagram. Rushikesh, please send an invite on Instagram and I will try and add you. Kaise raha Diwali di? Aarti is asking. बहुत बढ़िया आरती. I hope आपके भी दिवाली बहुत बढ़िया था. I hope you had a great time too. And grow your hair longer. Kumar is saying happy Diwali. Dhaval is saying hi. So we're going to now try and go live with a couple of people. Viren says hi from my family members, Ritesh, Poonam, and Asha Ben, mother who are watching you on TV. Thank you, Viren. Prakash from the Rainbow Foundation. Thank you all so much for joining. I must say that having these conversations with you has been one of my big highlights of lockdown because I feel so connected to all of you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Paki Raju says, was there ever a time where your children changed your perspective on something? Absolutely, absolutely. As I said just yesterday when I asked them, what do you think you have about different cultures and what they've learned, and when they simplistically said, oh, we're all quite similar, I thought that was a wonderful thing. Other ways in which they've changed my perspective is lots of things, to be honest. The way they think, also every child is unique and different, so each of them thinks in a certain way, and yeah, they teach us a lot all the time. Ina says, good to see you. Elvin, Ina, thank you. Alan says, miss you so much. Thank you. Future plans, Elvin and Melvin. Well, every day we're doing new and new things, reinventing constantly. Yesterday, in fact, when I spoke at this webinar on financial planning for children, I said that, and I happened to record it, so the frame is a bit odd, but it's on my Instagram. I said that, education is really important. And I will stress this. I'm so grateful that my parents and Rupak's parents have always had a high value for education. My parents always said, we'll support you whatever you choose to do, if you want to act, whatever you want to do, but have a good education. And I was very academically inclined as a kid. And security and safety was always important to me financially. And I knew that a good education would help me. And I have to say, and I said this yesterday too, that I don't think it's so much about what exactly you learn. I did my BSc in management from the London School of Economics. Before that, I was on a scholarship at the United World College in Italy. Then I was before that in Bombay International. And I don't mean to gloat, but I did get the highest in my school in the ICSE exams at that time, 93%. The reason I'm saying all this is because I'm not a corporate head honcho now. I'm not some superstar. I'm not some, whatever. But I do believe that the education gives the confidence to try different things and also to reinvent. And of course, everyone's journey is different. There are some people who perhaps don't have a rigorous education and still are very successful and happy. But in my particular case, and this is the advice that I know me and Rupak will always give our kids, have a good education, preferably from a good institution, because it will always be a confidence that you can do other things. I believe that it's thanks to my LSC background and the confidence it gave me that when I stopped getting much acting work, I was able to walk into corporate offices and pitch for sponsorship to create my own show, which I own. And I know it's not a big deal because many people host shows and have shows, but to me, it's a big deal because it's my show. I've created it, I own it. My YouTube channel is mine. I can do Saturday Noon Live with Tara and all these things. And, to me, I feel like partially maybe sometimes I'm absolutely idiotic and crazy, but I'm not afraid to show that because maybe somewhere there's a confidence within me. So I think I would always tell children, be well educated and then do whatever your passion, wherever your passion takes you. But always, 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 and I cannot stress this enough, ensure that passion goes with practicality. There is no point in dreaming, 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 dreaming. And if it's not working out, or if you're losing money, or if it's looking like it's not going to happen, it's okay to try something else. And I think that's something we need to know, because I've seen so many really smart people trying to do something, it's not happening, they still go on trying, they may be losing money. You have to mix passion with practicality. And I say that fully in the knowledge that I'm not earning as much as I could have earned if I had stayed at Accenture, or if I'd stayed at Citibank, or some of the jobs I got after LSE. But I know that the value of being happy and the value of the other intangible things that are also a huge part of life for me are very important, and that makes up. But I've always ensured that I earn and I save. And maybe because we did the discussion on saving yesterday, and I laughed, I'm quarter Jewish. So they were laughing and saying, yeah, your Jewish side is coming out. I said, yeah, perhaps it's there. You're just you. I love the way you're so natural, sis. That's Ina. Thank you so much, Ina. Nero says, you look amazing. How sweet. Thank you. um, what you Paki Raj is saying, what would you say about the saying, तुम तो बच्चे हो तुम्हें कुछ नहीं पता? Do you think this mentality has changed with the new generation of parents? Absolutely. I think not just the new generation. I know my parents were always very interested in what we as kids wanted to say. So again, I think it's subjective. Every parent, every person, every child is unique. But I do think you need to stop and listen. Having said that, kids are kids. They also have to learn from the adults and from people who are going to instill the right values in them. So I don't think you have to listen to everything they say with like admiration. There are times when we say, okay, shh, enough now, you listen to us. So I think it's always a little bit of a balancing act. Elvin and Melvin says, your opinion about the pandemic. Well, I think the whole world is going through this pandemic, and in many ways, of course, it's a terribly difficult time. My heart and my prayers are with people who have lost anyone or gone through a really tough time in this pandemic, whether it's health reasons or financially. I truly think, this has been a very rough time for the whole world, but I do also think there have been some silver linings. Things like reflecting on how life was and how much wastage there was, and how we should really nurture our bonding with family and the good sides of normal. So I think even when things so called resume, I think we as a family will certainly stick to some of our lockdown things. I think both me and Rupak will probably work from home more. We'll ensure that there are dinner table conversations with the kids, all these kind of things that were not happening so much in the hustle and bustle of rushing around. I think we'll ensure that we're not stuck in traffic so much. We won't go, honestly, in the car so much. I think we learn to value nature more. So I think there are some silver linings, but yes, I hope that we can go back to the good parts of normal, that the pandemic goes, that the vaccine is here, that everyone's safe, we're all healthy and fine forever, touch wood. So I think as much as it's been a very turbulent time, there have also been silver linings. I did a talk for Magic Bus and Voices United, and one of the things that came out is how the world has literally been united by this crisis. And in many ways, people have got through with unity and coming together. No, it's a leveler, no matter where you're from, what you are, it's something that is prevalent everywhere. So I think, yeah, there's lots to learn as well from this time. Uh, how do you look the same after so many years? JM Gaming. That's very flattering. Thank you, JM Gaming. I don't know if I do look the same, but that's very kind of you. I can only say that I've always just been a very simple, natural person. I don't really do makeup much, except when I'm shooting and, getting glamorous. And once in a while, I enjoy it, as I did yesterday. Again, I put up a reel about that. But otherwise, I think I don't do much. So perhaps that's why my skin and my hair is pretty much as it always was. Um, I think it's, I've never really colored or done anything trendy to my hair. People say I've been boring with long straight hair always, but maybe that's why it's still long, straight, and thick and dark brown. I've never colored it. So thank you. Rushikesh is saying, Lord, gift Rishi, please add. Would you like the life of being happy, or would you like the life of being both happy or sad? Elvin and Melvin, I think, unfortunately, it's not really a choice. Of course, I think most people would love to always be happy. I would, and I would love everyone to always be happy. But I think life is, by definition, a mix of all emotions. And perhaps we appreciate the happy because we've seen some sad. And, I think that's the way it goes. But yes, I would wish happiness for us all forever. That's good. Um, Minu says hi. And now I'm going to take on a couple of requests. Viren says kids are easily bored nowadays, be it the pandemic effect or otherwise. What do you suggest to keep the kids engaged and active? Viren, I really feel this screen time is a big problem. They are on the screen a lot, whether it's for homeschooling or playing or play dates. I've tried to now not let it bother me too much because I ensure personally, more than Rupert, that the kids have to play outside, running around for at least an hour or two every day, to the point that I've started playing hardcore competitive football with them so that they do it. So I think you have to just keep finding things. Last week for Diwali, my in-laws were here, so the kids love that to also have them. My mom lives in the same building. My dad has passed away, but I think use the infrastructure of grandparents, friends, to kind of distract them and do different things. The kids surprised us by really loving this new Monopoly set that my in-laws brought, which is very cool. It's got a card machine, and so that took them away from a screen. So I think just keep trying to find things that they can do. Books, we put them into some book clubs, but I don't deny they do get frustrated. So I really do want school to safely open soon. I think children need to interact, and not the same as interacting online. So we have started, safe little play dates where they meet one on one and things like that. Um, so, Tara, you are so kind and generous. You spend some time from your schedule and share your knowledge with interesting topics. Thank you wholeheartedly. Virena is saying, thank you so much, Virena. That's very kind. I get very teary when I read messages like that because I'm just rambling. I love chatting to you guys. I'm not some great authority on anything. I'm not an expert. I make just a normal person. I make mistakes and, learn all the time. But I do feel, and I don't mean to get all emotional, but I do feel that we can all help each other. We learn from each other, we help each other, and it's also really important to stick with your beliefs. I have some beliefs that I believe strongly in, and one of them is saving, financial planning, women being independent, and men being independent when it comes to finances. I share a perhaps rather radically new view, which may not sit well with everyone, but I have never changed my name officially. My name remains Tara Sharma, and the children are Zen and Kai Sharma Saluja. I use Tara Sharma Saluja, but I'm not like some hardcore feminist. But to me, I feel the kids are as much me as they are Rupak. So why should they only have his name? So things like that, I have views, I feel I've been saving money since I was very young, and and Rupak has his own financial way of being. So I believe women need to be aware of their finances, what they do, how they save, how they invest. Again, each to their own, but these are just little things that I'm telling you guys because I feel like you're my close friends now, and I feel like if there are young people out there who are watching and listening, these are things that if somebody had told me, and my parents did always tell me, they helped me a lot. I'll tell you one thing, and it's a bit of a secret, but as a woman, I do think, especially if you've got a good education, don't lose confidence because I think what tends to happen, especially in a context like India, when you get married, people think you're one and you have to do everything the same. And yes, you do become one with love, but that doesn't mean that you have to do everything exactly the same. Or that doesn't mean that your finances have to be all together. Or that doesn't mean that you have to, always like and do the same things or always speak as one. Because actually, love is about sharing your interests, your differences, your similarities, and all those things as well. So I just say this because yesterday, having done a whole thing on financial planning, I find it surprising that many women leave all their financial stuff to their husbands. And I always wonder why, because it's not like because they're a man, they have a better sense of finance. No. So don't do that. If you have a choice, make sure that you're in control of your own finances. It will give you a confidence. It will make you love your husband without being dependent and the other way around. Sorry, I'm just thinking aloud. Nero says a lot of fields don't even need a college degree, exceptions being medicine, law, etc. Young people end up piling up a lot of debt by going to college that doesn't really serve them long term. Nero, that's a very good point. And in fact, I must say, I like to hear different opinions. I don't actually agree with you because I think that what you learn when you have a good education is not necessarily what you'll do. I did my BSc in management at the London School of Economics, and I'm not a manager in a company. But I do think the confidence it has given me has enabled me to start my own show that I produce and I create and I write and I host and I earn from. So perhaps I would have done the same had I not been educated, but I don't think I would have had the confidence to go on my own to a meeting at Mattel with the CEO present and four other people and pitch my idea the way I did, thanks to the background I had of my education and working. I worked in the corporate world in Accenture in London. So that's my personal view. And I know careers like acting or the careers you mentioned that don't require an education, honestly, are usually quite short lived. Unless you're like a superstar, there's a shelf life, even sport. So if you're smart, you have to know that you have to do other things as well, right? And for me, I was very clear. I want to act and I don't want to wait till I'm 60 to take that chance. But I got my degree, I worked, and then I said, now I'm going to go act. And after that, maybe I'll do something else. And sure enough, about 15 years or 10, 12 years of acting, and I'll still act if a good offer comes my way. But I've created a show, I've created my own IP, I've created a way of earning revenue and income, which is not just dependent on acting. So again, I'm not saying that that's because of education. There are many people who are hugely successful who don't get educated. Again, it's each to their own. But I know that it's given me a confidence. Everyone's different. So, Nero, thank you for sharing that. It isn't more of an Indian concept that a college degree is a measure of a person's intelligence. Isn't it more of an Indian concept that a college degree is a measure of a person's intelligence? Nero, you're right. There is a slightly old-fashioned view, perhaps, that if you do really well in school, that means you're smart. It's not true. I got the highest in my school, and I have forgotten everything, and I'm way dumber than Rupak and many people who got less than me in their academics. But a good education, especially from a good address, I think gives confidence. So I don't mean to gloat, but the London School of Economics is a very well respected, reputed educational institution. And today, when I say that in a room full of people, I do command a certain amount of, I won't even call it respect, but people will listen. And that could be a room full of bankers or CEOs or actors. And I feel, I'm not saying that has opened up doors, but yeah, I think it has. So again, it's each to their own. Of course, it depends what you choose to do. But I would say this to my kids, regardless of what they choose to do, that if you can finance the education, and I know it's expensive, if you can get a scholarship, if you can work out a way of saving to have a good education, it will always help you in your life. I believe that. You may not. And like I said, there are many people who succeeded without an education. So it's each to their own. But this is just my view. And as a parent, I know that I will always want to ensure that our kids have good education. But Nero, it's great to hear your point of view too. And I think I'm always open to hearing points of view. I think it's very important and each to their own, as I always say. Pakiraju says some men don't like their wives learning about finance as a way of control. That I don't agree with. I think, especially if you're a well educated woman. And what surprises me is I know people who are highly educated. And the minute they get married, they hand over their finances to the husband. I don't understand that. So that's just me. And each to their own. Again, full respect for everyone, whatever you choose to do. Some people don't have the choice. I understand that. So I don't mean to make anyone feel uncomfortable about it. But just be aware. Be aware. If you want money, you need to know where it is and what it's doing. I just really believe that. For yours. It's not about being selfish. It's about valuing what you've done in your life. Paki Raju says education is a great long-term investment. I think so. Having said that, again, on the call talk I was on yesterday, there was a lot of focus on international, global, foreign education. I said it doesn't always have to be that. That's really expensive, and it may not be everyone's cup of tea. So do what works for you. Um, and yeah, I mean, as I said, I'm a little traditional when it comes to this topic, but I was a huge nerd. As a kid, I like studied a lot, and I was very clear that I want to act, but I want to have this good degree, and I just knew it. So Tanish Reddy says, ma'am, you've given good suggestions. Thank you. Thank you. Niro says, thanks so much for answering my question. Nirosha, thank you. Nirosha, and thank you. Please write in. I love to hear different points of view. Our kids are now young, but I'm little, but I'm sure they're going to have their points of view on education and what they believe. And I'm sure we'll have arguments about it too. I'll be open to anything, but and I'm not quoting anyone, but I've seen people who've achieved success fast and in the entertainment space or in any space. And then they've lost it. And I've seen some people crumble. And most of the people who I've seen crumble, and I'm not naming names and each to their own, but many of them have not, they feel they don't have an option. I never want our kids to be in a situation where they feel they can't do something else. You know, when I stopped getting acting work, I didn't sit and cry. I was like, okay, a new opportunity has to open up. And my father said, don't sit and wait for the phone to ring with an offer. You're very well educated. You have the means. Create something of your own. So grateful to that because I was so nervous. It wasn't like I was spilling out confidence. Even now, I'm writing a script. I'm nervous. I don't have a clue how to make a fiction show or film. I'm nervous about it. But I know I'm going to have the courage to go and pitch it and maybe to Netflix or whatever. And maybe it'll all happen. Maybe you'll see me on the silver screen again in my own film or show. Touch wood. Successfully. Touch wood, touch it, touch it. Okay, anyway, now I'm just yapping. Would you be interested in writing a book? You are so insightful. Thank you, Paki Raju. That's so sweet of you. But I come from a family of books. My dad, Pratap Sharma, spelled P-A-R-T-A-P, was an author and a playwright known for his speaking voice. My grandfather, Charles Pick, my maternal grandfather, is a very, very prominent publisher, literary consultant. He, in fact, discovered Wilbur Smith and others. So I wouldn't write because I don't feel that I'm a patch on any of them. And here, I don't have confidence, right? So it's not that I don't have confidence. I write. I write a blog. I write my show. I write various things. But a book to me is still a sacred thing that I don't feel I'm capable of. Maybe when I have more life experience, maybe I will then. Right now, I don't think so. But blog I still have, so you guys can check it out. I have been asked to put my blog into a book. But you know, to me, a book, and everyone's different again, each to their own. So much respect for people who've taken the plunge and written a book. But to me, a book has to be something that I would proudly show my mother, who also writes, or my uncle, who's also a publisher, and feel proud of. So, yeah. Stuti says, hi Tara, why did you choose to be in India given that London had better opportunities? You know, Stuti, I'm half Indian and half English. So actually, you're right. I've always had the option of living here or there. I chose to come back. I was in London for about, I would say, yeah, I was in university there and then I worked there. So for about 7 years, 5 to 7 years, I lived there. And I always knew I wanted to live back in India. I loved London. I loved studying there and working there, but I actually got quite lonely. I found the weather too cold, and I didn't like that it got dark at like 3 and 4 in the afternoon in the winter. And perhaps I didn't really love what I was doing. I mean, I enjoyed Accenture. I made some great friends, but I don't think I was really cut out for that kind of job. So perhaps all those factors made me really miss home, and I wanted to be back here, and I wanted to act. I really wanted to act. And I knew my opportunities here to act would perhaps be more. So I came back. And I love living in India, but I also love visiting England. So my sister lives there, and yeah. So yeah, I like to have a mix of both, but I like to live in India. And I think there are lots of opportunities here if you look. And yeah, so opportunities are everywhere if you look, and if you create them. So, but never say never. My husband Rupert keeps saying we live somewhere else, we live here, we live there, LA, this, that. So you never know. But I'm more of the Bombayite. um, Elwin and Melvin said, do you believe in God or science? So, honestly, Elvin and Melvin, I believe in some power, something. I don't know what it is exactly. I'm not religious, but I do like to do some traditions. Like I enjoy doing a Lakshmi Puja. I enjoy doing certain things like that. I keep saying because I'm mixed, we've not grown up religious, or we've not grown up being told what to believe. We've been told to make your own choice, and we'll do the same for our kids. In some ways, that gives you an option to study all things and decide what works for you. At some point, it makes you confused because you're not sure what to believe. But I do believe in something, some force, something watching out, looking out. I believe, for example, that my father's always with us. He's passed away, but I always believe he's with us. So I guess everyone finds their own beliefs. Guys, I'm just rambling on. I've not even gone live with anyone yet. Delicia says, ma'am, please start a podcast. How sweet. Thank you. I'm so technologically challenged. I'll have to figure out exactly what that is. Rupak is always listening to podcasts and starting one, in fact. But I feel this is kind of like podcast, isn't it? Like, aren't we all like chit chatting and this is there? Like, that's why even when you say about writing a book, Pakiraju, as much as that's lovely, I feel now, at least someone like me, I'm very inclined to visual medium. I like to watch things, I like to hear people. I'm not as much of a reader as I wish I was. So I kind of try and create things that I would consume, and I would consume listening to someone I'm interested in, perhaps a little more than reading them, which is not nice because I should read more. Anyway, now I'm rambling, so let me try and go live with someone else. Hi, ma'am, I'm Ajay Jadeja. Great to see you. Hi, Arya. Hi, Ansara. Okay, let's go live with someone, and I've rambled on way too much. Who are we going live with? Prince. I've really rambled too much. Pakiraju says, yeah, this is like a podcast. I'm working on my research paper while listening to you. Haha. Cool, Pakiraju. That's great. Hi, Prince. Sorry, someone's live on Insta, so I'm just saying hi. Hi, Prince. How are you? Oh, went away. Okay, let me try one more. Who should we say hi to now? Mr. Tanveer. Elvin and Melvin say, which culture do you love, India or London? I love the mix. I love all cultures. I think everything is beautiful in life. I'm a very optimistic person, but I think you pick and choose what works for you. So I think because I look very Indian, I'm half Indian, half English. So my mother is white English. I say that because people think, oh, is she Indian English? No, she's white English. You've seen her in photos and videos. My dad, Punjabi. So because I look very Indian, I've never really been questioned. So I've always lived here without being questioned and asked. My sister looks much more European. So people would say, how come you speak Hindi and things like that. So I think sometimes, she lives in England, I think sometimes, not always, but what you look like also sometimes determines where you live. Not always, but in my case, perhaps that's also been a factor. But I love lots of parts of both. Okay, guys, I'm not sure why this is not happening. Let's see who else we're going live with. Choose one to show it on screen and share it with your viewers. Oh, I've never seen these questions. I've got questions. Aapka favorite singer? Where are you from? I'm from Mumbai. Okay, guys. Vox Populi is saying, what do you feel the most exciting or effective learning environment would be? So I'm actually very impressed with schools now. Our children's school has an amazing IB curriculum. It's all about inquiry-based education, and I find that fantastic. I did my IB too. So I think less mugging and more understanding is great. So that's the first time I've taken a question like that. Okay, last one because nobody wants to go live with me. What have I done? Hi, who's that? Hi, how are you? Hi. How are you?
I am fine. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Where are you?
Now I am in bed. I am sleeping right now.
You're in bed, you're sleeping, but in which country? What's the time there?
Now it's 12:57.
Okay. तो आप इंडिया में ही हैं?
I am Indian.
India, okay, very good. So you sleep, but why are you sleeping at this time? You work in the night?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for joining. Bye.
Most welcome. Bye. You may share this one.
Okay, thank you.
Most welcome.
Okay, that was Rohan Singh. Nero says, would you ever consider working with one of your subscribers like me, on a YouTube video series idea? Sure, Nero, send it to me. You can mail me or you can send me a DM. I'm on all these platforms, very accessible. On Insta, you can DM and tell me what you're thinking. I'm doing various things, Saturday Noon Live with Tara, Yoga with Tara, various branded things, a film, a fiction show. So I'm trying to do different things, but I'm always happy to hear a good pitch. Sure. Thank you. How do I do the audio live call with you? If you come on Instagram, my handle is Tara Sharma Saluja. You send me an invite. I go live with 3 people every Saturday Noon Live with Tara. Love you and miss your hair. My hair is right here, Salim. Thank you. Anisa says, hi, Tara. I'm a big fan. Thank you, guys. Thank you. It is so lovely to always be talking to you guys. Now, I don't want to, people are probably thinking that I'm going mad because I'm not able to go live. And I always, oh my God, the phone is falling. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Oh my God. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh. Hi, how are you?
Oh.
Hi. आप मास्क पहन रहे हो, वेरी गुड. आप कहाँ पे है? मुंबई में दुकान में. वेरी गुड. आप मास्क पहनना, दुकान में जब लोग आते जाते हैं तो मास्क पहनना जरूरी है. वेरी गुड. और अभी सब कुछ ठीक है सिचुएशन? आप कहाँ पे है मुंबई में? थाना. अच्छा, थाने में. तो आप सेफ रहना, खुश रहना. Thank you for joining Saturday Noon Live with Tara. Bye. Bye. How sweet. That was SB Bawal SB. Okay, I'm going to go live with just one more person. So, who's that going to be? Hi, Imtiaz. We are fine. Touch wood. Thank you. I hope you are too. Prakash, thank you. Mehul, thank you. Okay, guys, let's try one more. I'm Nirosha. Oh, hi, Nirosha. Oh, sure. You want to go live? Okay, let me just find you because I'm not that tech savvy. So I'm trying to find where you are. I saw you say, hi, I'm Nirosha. Now I don't know how to find you. Sorry. Okay. See, from there, it went there. Okay. So Nirosha, let's see now. Nirosha. Let's see if this works. So Nirosha has joined from YouTube too. Hi, how are you? Hi.
I wasn't expecting this.
How are you?
I was ready to go to bed, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm live with you."
How cool! So where are you?
I'm in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I'm in the United States. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So the time difference is So how's everything there? What's the situation, and what's it like with the whole COVID? How's everything?
Yeah, I mean, the governor just passed orders again, so there's no, we can't go to restaurants anymore. We can't dine in.
Yeah.
We can only do takeouts at this point, and I work from home, so it works out for me.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but the cases are definitely increasing. So we're everyone's panicking right now. We're out of toilet paper.
Oh my gosh! Again. So
yeah.
And what were your views on the election?
Oh, I obviously didn't vote for Trump.
Yeah.
but my mom did, so my dad was super mad.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So that's discord in the family, but always healthy to have diversity, I guess, diverse views
Yeah,
within the family.
yeah,
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 interesting,
yeah,
interesting. So no,
yeah,
cool. So you DM me whatever your ideas are. We can always figure.
yeah,
And as you
yeah,
can see, I'm quite an accessible person. And thank you for your
yeah.
views on an education. You seem like you've had a good education. So where did you go to school?
Well, I went to Ohio State University. The thing is, I did not. I ended up with an associate's. The goal was to get a bachelor's, but I switched majors a lot. And then I had friends later who told me, like, who ended up doing kind of the same thing. They either dropped out or they just got an associate's. And an associate is basically a 2-year degree.
Okay.
But they dropped out saying that, they figured it was not worth the investment for them.
Right.
They like branched out into like different fields where they didn't even need a degree.
That's interesting. No,
So-
I mean, I find this a very interesting conversation because, of course, now we're parents, so looking at it
Yeah.
from a slightly different lens. And maybe because for me, I started with being very academic and in the corporate world, and then I switched completely to acting and entertainment. And perhaps because it's by nature it's such an uncertain profession, somewhere in my sort of core, as somebody who's quite a cautious person, actually I was going against my grain by jumping into something so uncertain, that I think the thing
Yeah.
that kept me sort of secure was knowing that I have
Knowing
the
that you had a backup.
stability of education and a backup, and frankly,
Yeah.
an intrinsic sense of saving and things like that, which I think allowed me to take that leap. So it's not for everyone, but I just feel that often at that age, because I know, and I don't want to reveal my age, but I know when I was in university and even when I started work, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. It's only
Yeah.
later that I discovered what I wanted to do. And that's the only reason why I say, if you are able to do those 3 to 4 years of a good university degree or whatever it is, 2 years or 1 year, whatever, it actually, just because you don't always know what you want to do later. And maybe some people do, but especially if you think, like now, as you said, there are professions that may not need a degree, but you never know what you may want to do later. Having
Yeah.
said that, you can always do a degree later. I guess that's also an option. So
Yeah.
so it's nice to hear
Yeah.
all points of view.
Yeah. 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 And I'm big into like because I grew up in India.
Okay.
So I spent like the first 17 years of my life there. And then coming here, like obviously there's a shift in perspective, right?
Yeah.
Like parenting is so different over here, the way kids are raised and the way you look at like education and college and just, your professions and everything.
Yeah.
Everything is different. So yeah, I mean, basically what I'm big into is like psychology and mental health and all of those things.
Oh,
And I
excellent.
feel like I would love to shed light on that, like for the Indian audience. I know it's picking up right now with social media, like depression and everything is getting a lot of,
Yeah, absolutely.
like it's open doors for discussion.
Yeah.
But I feel like we need to introduce something like within the Indian school curriculum where kids are taught mental health and wellness from a very young age.
Absolutely. It's a very important topic. And I think some schools are, again, it's not across the board, but I do see that our kids are fortunate to be in a school where they do talk about these things even at a young age, how
Really?
mental and
Okay.
physical well-being are both equally important. And I think, in fact, during lockdown, the conversation comes up quite a lot because it's been such a change for everyone, and kids are honestly very resilient, but obviously I'm sure they're dealing with their own way of dealing or coping with this whole thing. So absolutely, it's a very important topic. And in fact, I was started the chat today by saying it was Child Safety Week, and even things like abuse and being able to talk about things like that. I mean, it is still such a taboo topic, but these things are opening up. I think there's more and more awareness, so there's definitely scope to do stuff and all that. So we'll definitely chat more. But thank you so much for joining, and Thank you and good night in America.
Good night.
Bye, bye, bye. So that was so cool. That was Nirosha calling from Michigan, and she was actually on YouTube and then came on to Insta, and that was very cool. So nice how platforms converge. I wanted the kids to come and say hi, but they do not seem to have come out of their room. So I won't keep you guys any longer. I'm going to say have a fabulous day. Hey, hello, you were going to come and say hi. Oh, not you, not you.
Still going?
Okay, guys. On that note, I'm going to say have a fabulous day, and I shall see you on. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. Tomorrow, Sunday, 4:30 p.m. I'm doing a special yoga session for Moha, the Moha Seva Skin Campaign. It's actually for yoga asanas that help with hair care. Very flattered because I think they saw my long locks and my yoga and thought maybe the yogas help the hair. So do join, and it's 4:30 tomorrow on my handle and on the Moha handle. What do you think of this hairstyle, guys? I'm crazy. Delicia, Tara ma'am, what's your favorite cuisine? I love all food. I'm a big foodie. I love eating and I believe in balance. So people say, you mustn't be eating, you're very slim. See, no. Just because someone's slim doesn't mean they don't eat. Paki Raju says, oh my God, I'm from Michigan too. Michigan represent. LOL. Paki Raju, you should meet Nirosha. Maybe this can be a matchmaking site. What do you think, guys? Sorry, Nirosha, please. I know you're in Michigan. You're probably thinking I've gone completely bonkers, but I better. Okay, so Paki Raju, you should get in touch with Nirosha. She's laughing, and you both are, you both put some really cool questions out there. Nirosha said, why not everyone believes in an education because they think that it might be too much of an investment, especially in careers that don't require it. So that was a good point for discussion. Paki Raju had some great comments too. And so you guys should meet.
May I say something?
Now my husband has come to say something.
In today's time with online education and everything, an education doesn't have to be a very high investment. In fact, there are lots of different models where people are experimenting with being able to provide education, which is, for example, just
so you can come and say it here, no, but don't like come here. You can sit here and say it. So Rupak is here. Nirosha is in Michigan, and so is Paki Raju.
Oh,
and
nice.
as you can see, my house, it's a free for all. I thought the kids were going to come because it was World Children's Day, but they haven't. But Rupak has. So yeah, so Nirosha made an interesting point that education may not be.
No, I heard that. So what I was saying was that there's all kinds of new models being experimented with. So I recently took a class, even though I have done an MBA many years ago, I took a class recently, which was with a business school professor, Scott Galloway, who's disrupting online education. And he believes that the whole higher education model is broken. And so you don't have to pay the tens of thousands of dollars for an MBA when you can actually get it in bite-sized increments by paying a lot less and get that kind of value and not have it all at once. So like a 2-week sprint, as he calls it. So all kinds of new models are being experimented with. Hi, Niro.
Cool. Yeah, that's Nirosha in Michigan. Okay. She asked the question. And
where in Michigan are you?
Okay, now this is not always instantaneous, but yeah, and Paki Raju is also in the US, and they were saying I should start a podcast, and he's writing his research paper while I was babbling along. So on that note, guys, thank you all so much for joining. Thank you, Rupak, for your words of wisdom. Right. And please send the children to say hi because I've been saying that it's World Children's Day. Please go call them. Please. Thank you.
I'm going for a haircut.
Just scream and call them for 1 second.
Okay.
Children! Sorry.
Bye.
Please, can you call them for 1 second? Let them just say hi because it was World Children's Day. I have a 16-month-old girl, but when I talk to her about her private body parts, do not touch. But my family don't like it. What do you think, ma'am? 16-month-old girl. When I talk to her, 16-month or 16-year-old? 16 months. It's never too young. You must tell them that if they're not comfortable with some kind of touch, they must tell you. It's very important, and you should make your family understand it's important to talk about these things in an age appropriate way. So, Ekta Dip, I really do believe you should explain what's good touch, what's bad touch. Children need to be aware, and parents and loved ones should be able to always be there to listen if children are uncomfortable in any way. Paki Raju says, so nice to see you guys together. Ha ha. Dhruti says, hi. When will Tara Sharma Show season 6? Vishwa, we finished season 5, so season 6 should start soon. Hello, here's one child. Yesterday was World Children's Day, so here's one of them. And I've talked so much, Kai, that I'm not going to talk much more, but you can say hi. Where's your brother? Where's your brother?
There.
Zen! I haven't. Okay, so on that note, guys, I'm going to say have a fabulous, fabulous rest of day. Nero is saying Happy Children's Day. So it was It was Children's Day in India on the 14th of November. So I didn't even know yesterday was World Children's Day. Zen! Sorry, I'm shouting. No, I'm saying bye now. I have to end it now. So hurry up. Sorry, guys. Okay, so on that note, Zen is coming, so I'm really sorry. I don't know why. And today we're just going on and on and on. Okay, so on that note,
the live is ending.
Yeah, keep writing in. I'd love to hear more from you. Zen, please, just for a second. Then I'm putting it off now. Okay, guys, you guys must think I'm crazy. I mean, it's lunchtime. Not yet given the kids lunch. Zen! Okay, I think on that note, we better go. Just come and say hi, and then we're going, because it was World Children's Day. And then now, no more screen time. We're going to play Monopoly, right? You want to tell them about the new Monopoly game?
Yeah, it's a digital
Come and say hi.
version. Like everything is the same apart from you
This
have
is
a
Zen.
mind.
This is Zen. Say hi. Happy
Hi.
World Children's Day. Love you, love you, love you, guys. And look, you've got a question. Kai, you need to do another geography video. Your flag challenge video was so cool. That was when you were very little. So now, what are your favorite things? Quickly, in a few seconds each, tell them like what are you most passionate about right now?
Football.
Yeah, say something about football.
I love it.
I love it. Okay, so that's one football loving kid. And then you want to say anything?
I don't know.
You don't know? See, that's a good answer. It goes exactly, all these answers are good answers. Goes with the theme we were discussing about how sometimes you don't know what you want to be or what you really love to do till you're a little older and you've seen more and more things in the world. So some people just know and some people find out a little later. It's all fine, right? Okay, guys, on that note, thank you for joining. Paki Raju, they will do the geography video with Rupak. I have been barred from entering GK and geography contests in our house because I'm the worst compared to these guys and Rupak. Okay, guys, see you soon. Tara, tara, tara. Bye. Thank you, guys. Kai and Zen, stay blessed. Love the way you have commentated on football during the lockdown. May you rise and shine. Thank you so much. Bye, Paki Raju. Bye, Nero. Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining. Tara, tara, tara. Bye, Prakash. Bye, Viren. Bye, Mehul. Bye, Jayasi. Bye, everyone. Bye.